Welcome to the Catch Up with Claire. I'm your host, Claire Hoon, and today we are catching up with Charlotte Jones. Charlotte is from Covington, Louisiana. She is a high school counselor, mom to two girls with two on the way. That's right, she is pregnant with twins. She just launched Connect Teen Parenting, her new online resource course for parents of parenting teens. We dive into it. I so appreciate how honest and raw Charlotte was in this conversation. She opened up about her mental health. She opened up about her twin pregnancy. She opened up about the process of starting connecting parenting in this online course and her hopes and dreams for it. I'm really excited for you all to listen and to share this with you. So without further ado, let's catch up. Charlotte, welcome to the Catch Up
Hi,
with Claire.
thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited we have made this work.
I
Two
know.
working moms, one with a baby, one who's pregnant. This has been a couple weeks in the making, so I'm so excited to chat with
We,
you.
we probably rescheduled like 5 times, but we made it work.
I mean, that is the definition of like why I'm starting some of this is because
Yes.
yeah, you just never know what's going to happen, but we're still going to make it work. We're just
And
going to
I'm in
show
my
up when
car
we can.
recording because this is the only silent place I can get. So
Okay, you're in your car, but please be more specific and tell everyone where you're recording from that you just told me.
randomly, I'm in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. I was like, where can I find shade and where no one's really going to look at me while I'm in my car talking? So that's where I am. I'm in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. And then there's a little Panda Express on the other side. So.
Okay, so we've got food and provisions if we get hungry.
Yes, which
I don't
pregnant
actually
women.
I never think about that because I have car envy. We don't have a car in the
Yeah,
city. I wish we did, but there's no way to justify it. We wouldn't use it enough because we either
right.
walk or take public transit. But I'm like, if I had a car, I could do car videos. But I never thought about like sitting in my car watching people record myself.
I do so much of my videos. I mean, most of my videos are in my car because it's just like it's a quiet place and it's easy. So
Yeah, why wouldn't
I
you?
don't know what I would do without it.
Okay, I gave our listeners a little bit intro of who you are in my own words, but can you introduce yourself for our listeners?
Yes. So my name is Charlotte Jones. I live in Covington, Louisiana, which is right outside New Orleans. Born and raised here. Um, and I'm not surprised I'm still here because I'm a homebody. I am married to Nick, and we have two girls and two girls on the way. So we're gonna have four girls. So Parker's almost two, Molly's almost four. Um, and then I'm only 16 weeks, even though I feel like I'm way further along because I'm just large and in charge with the twins. So what else? I am a therapist, slash high school counselor. So, um, I decided in grad school, when I did my internship with Sacred Heart in New Orleans, I just really liked the school atmosphere, and that's why I stayed in the school setting. And then, like, raising kids with the school hours was just
Mm.
easy to do. Um, that's kind of why I stuck with that. I could see myself doing private practice in the future for sure. But yeah, so technically now I'm a high school counselor, I guess I could say. So yeah,
And also a new business owner. You just launched a course.
I did. I did. It's
Okay,
slow right now, but that's expected, I guess, because it just launched. Um, you want me to talk about it a little bit?
we're going to talk about all of it. I want to talk
Okay.
about everything. I
Yes.
let's let's back up from the beginning though,
Okay.
because did I make this up? I feel like now that I'm hearing you talk about this, I made this up. Were you a theater major?
Yeah.
I didn't make it
Yes.
up.
Yes. No, my undergrad, so Claire and I went to Loyola together and we were in a sorority together, and my undergrad degree was theater. Yeah. And it was kind of like at the time of my life where I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And if you would have told me back then, like, you're going to be a therapist, I would have laughed in your face because it makes so much sense why I am that role now. But my mental health has been a struggle my entire life. Like, I've always had an amazing family and support system and an incredible life, but I just kind of was born an anxious child. And
Mm,
like, at the time, when we were younger, it wasn't. Sorry, I'm probably going in too deep already.
No, oh my
Um,
God,
but
please.
but yeah, so I at the time, like, I really just didn't know what I wanted to do, and I loved theater, and I was like, let's just do it and see what it's like. And then it wasn't until I was like 26 that I was like, I think I want to be a therapist. So yeah,
So you didn't go to graduate school right away. You
so
went back. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
So I worked at Southern Rep Theater in New Orleans for a while. Um, and then I went through a really rough time of my life with depression. I just kind of spiraled. And so I took time off, lived with my parents, and then it wasn't until was hospitalized and like took care of myself and got healthy where I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. This is why I'm like, I have struggled my whole life so that I can help others, you know?
I totally know. Well, first of all, thank you for just entirely opening up and being vulnerable like this is honestly part of the reason of starting this of like, let's cut through it and get to the chase. Like,
I
what are we
know.
talking about?
I'm not one to hold back on any of the things.
I want to share, and since you did bring it up, this was five, six, in 2019. After I had my first baby, I had severe postpartum depression. You know this, the world knows this now because I've talked about it. Um, and it was a life-altering experience for me. I was in a PHP program. PHP, for listeners who aren't familiar with various types of treatment for mental health disorders, is a partial hospitalization program. It's basically a day treatment, so um, it's a voluntary, but it's kind of like you're voluntold that you need this because the next step would be involuntary treatment, and it was like I said, it was life altering for me. Both having the depression and then the treatment that I received. It took me a very long time to process what was happening to me and be able to speak about it. I felt very ashamed. I didn't understand what was happening. But when I finally did, I had this sort of confidence of like, I need what I went through to have meaning. And in order for it to have meaning, I need to tell other people that I didn't know this could happen to me postpartum depression. I didn't know that could happen. Nobody talked to me about it.
Really? So
Uh,
you had no idea about it.
I had no idea.
It's wild.
It was, I like, which is really interesting, or not, because my master's degree
Or
is
not.
in my master's degree is in clinical mental health counseling,
Yeah.
and like postpartum
Yeah.
depression was never covered in that.
That's
Um,
crazy.
and so like I feel like I have a acute awareness of, and I never got licensed. I took my boards and got certified, but
Mhm.
chose a different career path. But
Yeah,
I do have a higher, I think, degree of articulation and language around mental health in general because of my
definitely.
education. But I didn't recognize it when it was happening to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, to not make the longest story even longer,
No.
I shared that on Instagram, and you were one of the first people that DM me and shared what you just shared here, that you also had treatment for depression, and asked me questions about, I'm worried about, I want to be a mother one day, but I'm so worried about postpartum depression given my history with what I've struggled with.
Gosh, I don't
And
even like, of course I remember talking to you after I had Molly, but like, I don't even remember this beginning conversation before I had even become a mother.
I can't tell you how much it meant to me. And I feel like this happens in your life of like, you never know what a small act of kindness or a small gesture means for someone. Like it might be relatively easier, like a small thing to comment or send someone a nice message. Um, but like I think about that like all the time, like and how much that meant to me that I was nervous to share, but I also knew I needed to share. And you immediately were reciprocated by being vulnerable and sharing with me, but also in a like what I wanted from that was for people to not go through what I went through. And so you were asking the questions of like, what did you go through and what helped and what resources. So thank you for
Of
that. And
course.
I'm glad we're both on the other side of where we are now.
For real.
For real. Man, we went there. 10
Well,
minutes in, look at
I
us.
know. I mean, I know it makes me like tear up thinking about it because like now that you mentioned, of course I remember us having multiple conversations after I had Molly.
Mhm.
Um my first child because I needed you. I needed your support and you were there for me. But it's, I guess, when life happens, we have so many things that go on. I forgot about that initial conversation, but now you're saying it, I remember. Like, I do remember reaching out to you, and um, yeah, it's just wild how time goes on, and yeah, we progress and we get better.
And that was after you had one baby, and you're about to be a mom of four babies.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm okay. Like,
Okay.
it's crazy. I'm okay. Um, and I can say that, like, I've been in mental health battles in my past where I couldn't say that. Like, where I've been like, am I gonna be okay? But I can, like, confidently say, like, I know everything's gonna be okay. And that's because I've gone through, having two babies now. I've gone through severe depression. I've gone through all the things. And I think I know myself well enough now to know what I need and support wise. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
Hmm.
But the physical symptoms have been rough just with, I didn't do well with singleton pregnancies as it was. But now having two at once, like the double the hormones, double the nausea, all the things. So that's been really rough. I've missed a lot of work because of it. And then just the fatigue, of course. But I do feel like I'm having more better moments now. Um, I've definitely like accepted the fact that I'm gonna have twins, which that was a literal shock. Like, shock. It doesn't run in either of our families, so it was quite shocking. And I have to think like, okay, there's a reason I'm doing like, I'm not a super, super religious person, but I do kind of feel like God like knows or knew I needed this and I
Hmm.
don't know, maybe I don't know why for sure, but there is a reason. I know I need to be a mom of twins. So,
I relate to that. I think it's helped me in my life cope with things when they feel like they don't make sense, that there's something, that there is a reason, and I don't know what that reason is right
yeah,
now, but I trust that I'll eventually find out. I mean, I very much felt like that when I was in the depths of my depression of, I was raised in a very religious family. My faith is important to me. But I was like, no, this makes no sense. Why am I suffering? Why am I going through this? And I was very, very angry about it. And 7 years, 7.5 years later, like now I feel like I can see, like, no, I want to help people. And you want to make what you're going through. And you're going to bring two beautiful little girls into this
crazy.
world. And I know it's a lot. I know it's overwhelming. I have had those exact feelings in pregnancy, not with twins. I have
Yeah.
not had it with twins, but I have every confidence it's going to be amazing. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited for you.
I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna need the support, probably from you too. But
Oh, I'm here.
I mean, God, the way you helped me with, like, I can't even. I don't know what I would have done without you, and I'm not exaggerating at all. I'm such an emotional person, especially when I'm pregnant. But like, those first 2 weeks after having Molly were rough. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was terrified. And I think knowing so much about mental health was part of, like, it's a good thing, but it was almost not. It's
Mhm,
almost like I'm too
mhm.
in tune with my emotions. And um I think I was like overthinking it. Like, okay, because I've been through so much mental health struggles in my life, because it is more common for people who have been through this before to go through postpartum depression, like, it was just like constantly in my head. And I ended up not, I don't think I didn't go through full postpartum depression. I went through those, that month of like
The
really rough baby
blues.
blues, and it felt
Yep.
very much like depression, but it did lift. And I swear to you, like, I reached out to you immediately. I was like, you have, I need you. Like, we haven't seen each other since college, and I was still like, oh my God, I can't do this without you. Like, I need everything, all the, the tips, tricks, support. And I mean, you were, a lifesaver, truly, through that.
I I'm not going anywhere, so you reach out
Thank
anytime
you.
and you know I'm happy to. I
Mm,
I, th- I relate to what you're saying though about, sometimes you kind of know too much that you can't, that
yes,
it's like, do I really feel this bad or do I think I'm going to feel this bad and I'm getting ahead of protecting
right,
myself from
right.
what's coming. I very much went through that with my second daughter. I've been in therapy nonstop since my oldest was born, and so prepared very differently. Even just talking about getting pregnant for a second time, through the whole pregnancy, how support was going to look different, how I could set myself up. But I had such PTSD from what I went through round one,
Oh, my
that even though when she was born, I felt I felt good. I couldn't accept that I felt good because I was like, if I let my guard down, it's right around the corner. And if I really enjoy this, it's right around the corner. And don't be too happy. Don't enjoy it too much. Like you like set yourself up. And I hope I'm gonna start saying a little prayer for this experience for you. Because in round three for me, I can honestly say this is the most, and now I'm gonna tear up, the most joyous 6 months of my life. My baby just turned 6 months this week, and absolutely like the most joy filled. Like I feel like I've gotten an experience of what new motherhood should feel like, or what, not that they should, but what you expect it to
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like, because you only grow up hearing about the beauty and the joy and the love. And that was so different from the experience I actually had. Um, so I just want to instill that little piece of hope of it is possible and it's safe to trust and to lean into it if you get that. Because it's been really healing for me. It's like been
yeah,
simultaneously this beautiful, joyous experience and then also grief of it's our last
yeah,
baby. And so I'm like,
yeah,
why did it take me so long to get this? I'm also immensely grateful that I'm having this experience, and I know it's not one-sided, that all of these things can exist at the same time.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so it's a whole jar of emotions that
I
come.
know.
Add the
Oh my
hormones in,
gosh.
add the sleep deprivation in. I get it.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Well, and like with my second one, I was she didn't sleep as well. So that was like super hard. My husband my husband is an amazing father and husband, but he has this like I tell him like he has a sleep disorder. Like he literally when he falls asleep, he's out. Like out. And his mom said, I mean, he's been like that his whole life. Um and so and I wasn't breastfeeding for either. I didn't breastfeed for either of them. I tried. But so I was like, you could technically help me. And it wasn't that he didn't want to help. He wanted to big time. Like he would make me
Yeah.
he would go sleep in another room, take the monitor with him, and I would still wake up and he'd be dead asleep. And I could just like mentally knew the baby was awake. So anyway, long story short, I was like, this time we have no options. Like we have two at once coming.
Yeah.
He's like, I got this, I got this. Um, so yeah, it was like the first mental health was a struggle after both kids, but I think the it almost like came on later with Parker because of the sleep
Mhm.
deprivation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You become crazy
It's
when you
it
don't sleep.
is crazy. You become crazy. I mean, yes,
Literally.
I we had Stella's 6 month visit this morning, and I was saying to her, our pediatrician, the other two just slept. Like I was very, very lucky, and I know most people don't have this experience. We didn't do anything. Like
Really?
they just slept. I mean, like from 12 weeks on, like it wasn't like immediate. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they were still babies, but they were sleeping through the night from like 12, 14 weeks.
It's amazing.
Stella was, and so I was like, I don't know. This is my blessing in life that I have babies that
Yeah.
sleep. And then she stopped. About 6 weeks ago, it was it was because I remember it was the week that the kids started school. She started waking up again, and I like don't know what to do with myself because I am the worst version of myself sleep deprived. I'm a little bit
Gosh.
like your husband.
Yeah.
I can sleep. My husband used to joke like if there was a gold medal for the Olympics in sleeping, like all day long, you could like I sleep deep, I sleep long, I love my sleep. I'm not a good person right now. Like she's still waking up and the doctor told us to sleep train and oh, that could be a whole nother episode about my
Yeah,
feelings
yeah.
about that. But
It's
I get you. It's yeah, babies are
well,
hard. It's a hard
and
phase.
like I felt like like I followed all the things that my sister did because she's very type A and and I'm not, but I felt like her babies all slept pretty well, and I followed exactly what she did, and I'm like, well, they still neither of my girls were great sleepers at all, but somehow we got
I
through
think
it. I
that's the
mean,
thing of they're different humans. They're like
right
you can't like what works for someone and what even works for one baby. Like the first two, I don't know. I didn't do anything differently. They're just different kids. And that's what you learn.
now.
I wanna,
So
speaking of different kids, I wanna pivot and talk about your line of work. I feel like you're doing so much. I also I didn't realize that you went back to graduate school later. So it sounds like that was
yeah.
inspired by your own life experience and
Mhm.
everything you went through. Did you know that you wanted to work with high school students, with all girls? How did that become well, you said with the school hours too is helpful. What's it like working with
Yeah.
teenagers though?
Oh gosh, I love it. I mean, I chose this.
Yeah.
Um, like today, I teach a health class and it's essentially mental health. And like I had a class today and it was just awesome. Like it was just so fulfilling and like they also drive me crazy. And they know that. Like I mean, they're amazing. I love them so much, but lots of drama. But when I did my so I did an internship with a not with a school at first. And then I did my practicum with Sacred Heart, which is an all-girls school, as you know, in New Orleans. And I didn't know what age group I wanted to work with, so I did the lower school the first semester, and then second semester I did high school just to see. And I love little kids. I always have. Like for a while I thought I was going to be a teacher for little ones.
Mm.
And yeah, so actually before I decided to do grad school for that, I for counseling, I started taking the praxis exam and I like couldn't pass it. And I'm like, but I had like it was like what's going on? Like I know this stuff. And it was a sign, I think, because I then took the GRE and like did great and was like, wait, it's because I'm not supposed to be a teacher, I'm supposed to be a counselor. Like it was just a weird,
Mm, yeah.
clumsy time. Yeah. So but the reason I liked the high school experience more than the lower school, even though I love those little ones, was the talk therapy. Like I really like to have
Mm.
conversations. Like I want to talk through people's problems. And it's funny because in grad school, like all my friends, we had a play therapy practice like on our floor and they all went that route. They all went the play therapy route. And I thought that was totally going to be what I wanted. But I like having conversations and digging deep and like really getting into it. And they were all like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." But I was like, I don't really want to play. Like, even though I love playing and love little ones, I want to get in there. Like, I want to be deep, you know? And so that's really what led me towards the upper school, the high school students. Um, so yeah.
I ac I actually took a play therapy course in my last
Mhm.
year. So I was a psych major undergrad, but knew I wanted to go to graduate school eventually to do counseling. Um, and I took a Loyola had the program that I wanted had a master's degree so that I could take
Yes.
one through their school, and it was a play therapy class. Um, and I didn't put this together at the time. I was like, this is really interesting technique of how you draw children out. Like you're not asking
Yeah.
questions, you're just responding with observation.
Mhm.
So there's a lot I learned from that I actually use as like little parenting things sometimes to try to like observe what they're doing.
Totally. Yeah.
But I am not I am not meant for that. Not I relate exactly to what you're
Yeah.
saying about I like to have conversations. And that's actually part of, again, why starting the podcast is because the Instagram page that I started has been really fun as a creative outlet and
Yeah.
sort of like creative expression. But what I really crave is when people comment, not even comment, but like when they DM me and I'm having
Mhm.
conversations back and forth with them, because like
Yeah.
I actually want to connect with people and I want to understand like what are you drawn to and why is this resonating with
Yeah.
you and what are you going through? And I actually want to share with you why I decided to post this because
Yeah.
sometimes it's a silly little video, but it's like I'm
There's
going
more to it.
insane in my head because I'm sleep deprived and crazy. And this is how I like entertain myself because
Yeah.
I don't have enough adult connection in my life. And so
Right.
I totally relate to your saying about
Yeah.
being able to actually connect with them and
Yes.
have enter their world.
Yes, absolutely. And like, even though play therapy is so important and it's amazing and it's an incredible thing, I didn't like just repeating what the kids were doing. And even though there is a reason they have those techniques and stuff, I just, yeah, I couldn't get into the groove of it. Like I like needed the deep talks. Totally.
Give us take us all the way down to the bottom first. That's exactly how this started within 5 minutes. I love it.
Right. Right.
Um,
Exactly.
okay. And something that have been like holding myself back on asking because I want to know everything. Talk to me about connecting parenting. And before you respond, I'm just going to say, so Charlotte started a new Instagram page back over the summer. She's going to give us all the details. Um, I love a play on words. I love a pun. I love connecting parenting. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. It's so
That's so
good.
funny.
I want to hear about how long has this been on your mind? How long have you been thinking about this? What brought it to fruition?
Mhm.
And what it's been like for you, because I think it's a really interesting time. So much of the parenting resources that I draw from are because I learned about them through social media and through Instagram accounts. And I'm also someone who I want to peek ahead of what's coming. So, like, I didn't have a peek ahead at motherhood. Like, it was not on my
Right.
radar when it came to me. I knew nothing about postpartum depression, about breastfeeding, about any of the things you go through and because my pregnancy was a surprise. Um, now accounts that I follow are like, what's the next chapter going to be like for me? Because I want to be prepared for that. I don't have teenagers yet, but I love hearing your videos and seeing what you're sharing for tips because I want to know it's not like I'm far off from the teen years and I would guess that a lot of our listeners are either starting the preteen years or are going to have teenagers one day. So I threw a lot at you there, but
No, you're good.
talk to me about it. I want to hear the whole story.
Yeah, for years, like being a high school counselor, sit in the office with my students and they tell me things and I'm like, oh my God, if only I could educate their parents on what the teenage
Mm,
brain actually is. That's like where it all began. And so like for years, like I'll say it even to my students, I'm like, can I meet with your parents so I can teach them? Like I just have learned through the years that they're clueless. Like, and it's not their fault, but like parents like don't understand how underdeveloped the teenage brain is and how like the amygdala is in control, which is all about the emotions. Like there's just so much there that I was like, it all began with like, okay, wanting to educate parents. And so like for years I've been like, how can I do that? Do I do like a nighttime class? And then I'm like, well, I get finished with school and then I have my family. Like I can't do a nighttime thing. And then I just kind of like thought about different ways, and I do have meetings with parents, and I'll try and educate them, but it's also hard because you're not their counselor, you're their child's school counselor, and it's like you can't go too far into it. Um,
hmm
and so for years, I've like for the past 5 years, I've been like, what can I do? Like I know there's something, I know I'm supposed to help these parents. Like even though I work with their teens, I need to help these parents, and so it just kind of like I was on Instagram this summer and I started like seeing stuff on like, baby courses and toddler courses. And I like, Dr. Becky, I'm sure, with
Yes, I
good
love Dr.
insights.
Becky.
Love her. And I'm a member of like her group and she's helped me so much. Um, and so like
Two
those kinds
things
of
can
things
be true. She gave me deeply feeling
I
kids
love.
and two things
Yes.
can be true.
Yep. She is I love her so much. And like, I guess I just saw this like early in the summer. I just kept seeing like different accounts on like, there was a lot of like the Sleepwise and like the sleeping accounts. And I was like, I wonder if I can like add a little side hustle. And then I was like, well, duh, like the side hustle's what I want to do to help these parents. And so then it was like, okay, do I make a course? Um, am I qualified to do that? Like I felt like I was like, wait, can I do that? I was like, of course I can. Like I had to. So anyway, I started thinking about it more. And then of course, like this was before I found out I was pregnant, and I just like got on it. And since I have summer break, like I had time to like really think about it.
Hmm.
And when I tell you I jumped on it, like I within 2 weeks was already recording my course. So like I just like went right into it. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I have to do it now because it's summer. Like I have to.
Hmm.
And now I know it was really good that I did it then because then I got pregnant. Um with twins. So and it's funny that you say you like the play on words because I struggled with what do I call this? Like that was like the longest that took me so long, and came up with communicating, like communicating, but and it was just like I had my friends tell, like I was like, what does this look like to you? And they were like, communica teen, and I'm like, okay, well that's not gonna work. And then
Keep
I
workshopping.
kept, yeah, so like I kept brainstorming and like, throwing things out there, and then that just came to me. And a lot of things I did, like parenting, like teen, G,
Hmm.
like that was taken, like all these things were taken, and then that one wasn't. And I was like, this is it.
It's
Um,
perfect.
and so I really started it out wanting to create a course, and then the Instagram thing kind of just like happened. I realized, okay, well, in order to like even have it like a course, I kind of need an audience first. And I'm definitely not there. I am like
You are.
1,700 people. Oh, I'm
That's still a
trying.
lot of parents.
I know I'm trying. It has, you know, gone better than I thought it would. And I do have help with the social media thing because I, with the amount of things I have going on, I don't think I would be as successful as I am without the help of the people I have helping me with the social media. But yeah, so now I'm like halfway doing the like Instagram thing, social media thing, and the course just came launched. So
Yeah, you just launched it this week, right?
like yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday. It's been a day.
I know. I know. I
I
know.
mean, like think about so I was introduced to Dr. During the pandemic, and I don't know when she actually started, but
I
through
think
my
it was around the
therapist.
pandemic.
It was so like early on, and think about the growth that she's had in 5 years. Like you're on day one.
Right.
Like I think it also back then, like there's a model for it now, and maybe I mean there's resources for everything, but I think you're on the right track because like the audience being even just our peer group, no one has teenagers yet,
Right.
but we're all they're all going to get there.
Right.
It's just a
Right.
matter of time.
Right.
And so I think building it up now is like absolutely perfect. And I am so proud of you. Like that is
Thank you.
hard thing to do, launch a new business, be pregnant with twins, be a mom of two already toddlers, high school counselor, all of the things.
Oh, I know it is like, oh, we also just moved into a new house, so that was kind of crazy. Did I tell you
Wait,
that?
was
I
no,
couldn't
you
remember if I
didn't.
told you that. Literally,
What is
like
it?
we moved in 2 weeks ago. So like in the midst of all of this, it was like, which thank God, because we were actually looking for a new house before we even found out we were pregnant. Because we were just busting at the seams at our house. And thank God we got it when we did, because I can tell you, we were, I was like, we cannot fit any more children in this house, like at all. So yeah, that in the midst of it all has been crazy, but a good thing, a really good
Is
thing.
your new house the background of the TikTok video you sent me yesterday?
Yes, yes.
It is stunning. I meant to text you
Thank
that
you.
back, and then I was like commenting on the video, but it is
Thank you.
stunning. Like the
Uh,
blue
yeah, the
backsplash, the
blue is really
exposed
cool.
brick, the
Mhm.
light in there looks so airy.
Yeah.
Um, I want a
It's
house
like
tour.
it's really it was kind of, yeah, it's only like 3 houses down from where we lived before, but it was not like we thought we wanted something even bigger, and we realized we don't need anything bigger. Like, meaning bigger than what we're in now. It was just kind of like, why don't we go there? And they did such a good job with it, and I was like, let's put an offer in. Like, why would we not? Um, yeah, I love what they did with the blue and the brick. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's nice to be in like a clean, open air, like fresh space, especially being pregnant and nauseated all the time.
Oh, I feel for you. Okay, so talk to us about what's next for connecting parenting.
Yeah. So, I mean, my goal is for this to take off and for
Mhm.
this to be like my job. Um, Although I love what I do, I love school counseling. I think I'm burnt out. And I'm scared to even
Mhm.
say that out loud because I'm like, my students probably shouldn't hear that. But like, I think even my coworkers who I adore, I'm in the best school ever. It's almost like a counseling family. It's like everyone's a counselor there, even though they're not. It's like a big family. So like if I would not want to be in any other schools, basically what I'm trying to say. But I think what I didn't feel before I had kids that I do feel now is like I'm just so fatigued, compassion fatigue, which is so crazy for me because I'm empathetic to a fault. Like I feel too much, but I'm at school and like I'm just like, oh God, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like I'm exhausted by because it's almost like you're on call all day, even though you're not.
You are.
You are. It's like you're just waiting for the next student to come in. Typically I ask them to email me ahead of time, right? But you never know when there's going to be a crisis, and a crisis for a teen is anything.
Very
Like,
real.
right. And
Yes.
it's real. And so when they're feeling those emotions, like I need to be on it. And what I'm realizing is I'm not on it all the time like I used to be because my mind is on my girls, you
And
know,
being pregnant.
being pregnant, my husband, like my now, like my life is all about my family now. And I feel like even though the school is like my second family, I feel like I can't like give it what it deserves. And so I'm
I
hoping that
totally
this, go ahead.
I just say I totally relate because it's like you're working 9 to 5, but you're a parent 24/7.
Yes.
Even when you're like before, when it was like, you didn't have kids, you could dial in, lock in, whatever at work, Zoom, like all you had was to pay attention to your work and maybe something occasionally came up and I don't know, but it's not someone else's life that you're responsible for. Like school
Mhm.
calls because your kid is sick, or daycare calls because they have a fever, you have
Yes.
to pick them up, whatever. It's you and your partner are the responsible party there. And so I understand exactly what you're saying about like it is a little bit of compassion fatigue because you have to be so emotionally you have to have a emotional reserve to be able to show up for whatever you're walking into for your
Right.
children.
Right.
It's only fair to them. And I think my husband and I have been having this conversation lately because I had a really hard time going back to work this round, knowing that it
Mhm.
was going to be our
Yeah.
last baby. He was, and I have a demanding job, but have been doing my job long enough that I know what like I can I get I know the balance of like the reserve that I need, that I can get
Yeah.
emotionally involved in my work versus like what I need to have a boundary with so that I can flip on a dime to parenting. Like this morning when I had toast thrown at me because I had the audacity to ask someone to put their shoes on. um but I think it's like, it's hard because and I think more now as you go through parenting, like everyone always tells you it goes so quick. And it's like so cliche. And you're like, yeah, come up with something original to tell me. But there's nothing else that encompasses it, and you don't realize how real that is until
Mhm.
you have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And it's like, I don't understand. I was just pregnant with you 10 minutes ago, and now you're 7 asking me about
Is
slang
he
words at
7?
school, and I don't know what it means. He's 7. Yeah. Um, I know.
Oh,
I know. It's
that's
weird because
insane. That's crazy. I did
it's
not
crazy.
I guess it's like it makes sense, but whoa.
Yeah, but and so like where I was going with that though is like you want to you want to be there with your kids while they're young because you don't want to scale the business 10 years from now because your daughters are going to be teenagers then and they're going to
Right.
want to be with their friends and they're going and like yes, we still want to have close relationships of course,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
reality is they're only going to need us in the way that they need us now. And it's such a finite amount of time. It's a hard balance to strike. And so I'm here, I'm fangirling, connecting parenting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the next great parenting resource. I'm confident of it.
I mean, that would be amazing. I'm loving it, and I didn't realize how much I was gonna enjoy like the talking to the camera part, but it makes total sense. I was a theater major.
Theater
Theater was
kid.
a
Yeah.
huge part of my life. Of course I like it. That sounds ridiculous. But I'm like, I feel like I'm on stage kind of. I'm like, oh my God, I'm back on stage. Because that is a part of my life I really miss. I miss that part of my life so much. I loved that. I mean, it was clear I wasn't going to do it for a living, but it is kind of like mixing my theater background with, with the counseling now. It's funny.
It's
But yeah,
perfect.
I'm really enjoying it, and I come up with these things. I'm like, oh my God, I totally need to talk about this. So like, I'll park my car and I'll talk about it.
I
And
love the
do
car videos.
it's honestly just the easiest way to do it because you're like right in front of the camera and you're not, there's not noise around you and it just works. So just kind of like that happened kind of naturally. At first, I'd asked the girl who's helping me with my social media, I was like, is this okay that I'm doing this car thing? She's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Got
So it
it.
works.
Keep it authentic, and this is how we get it
Yeah.
done. It's either
Yeah.
get it done like this or it's not, the moment's going to pass and it's not going to. Okay,
Exactly.
I know this as this question is coming out of my mouth, it feels a little bit silly because I'm going to fully recognize that you are a mom of two who just launched a business, works full time, and are pregnant with twins. Talk to me about how are you having fun in your life right now? Like what is giving you joy and fun? Is it the creativity you're able to pour into the class? Are there other things that sort of give you help Charlotte be Charlotte?
You know, oh God, I hate to admit this. Like, I guess I'm not having a ton of fun right now. That sounds so bad,
That's
but
fair. No, it's so real.
I've never been, none of my pregnancies, I've never been a very woo pregnant person. I love having kids. I love being a mom. Doesn't mean it's not hard, but like the pregnant part is, I'm sure for most people it's tough, but like I just really, like it is hard for me. It takes everything out of me. And I notice that like I don't want to do as many things. I want to kind of just stay home, which I hate to even like, I don't know.
No,
It's,
say I think I don't know about you, but same. And I think there's almost like a guilt associated to it because like I had
yeah.
well, first of all, my first round, I was so scared about even being pregnant. And then my
Hmm.
second baby was born during the pandemic. And so I was
Mm.
like, stay away from me. We don't
Right,
know anything
right,
about COVID yet. And so I was
right.
anxious during that one. And then this one, I knew it was my last pregnancy. I keep saying that, and I also am going to just go ahead and caveat of like, I know that you never know what's going to happen in life,
Right.
but this is definitely, we are planning to be done.
Yes.
That I wanted to be the person who enjoyed it. I was like, I'm going to enjoy it
I
this
know.
time because I have to. And I felt even worse about it because this was by far my worst pregnancy. Like
Really?
it was a singleton. I was so sick. I got shingles, which I didn't know was
Oh, I
possible.
forgot you told me that. Oh my gosh.
I
Ugh.
got the flu. I was hospitalized. I had a major panic attack and was in the hospital. Um, and then I had COVID. I got like, if you name it, and like, so it
You
was
had it.
really, really hard. And then they didn't catch, and then I had postpartum preeclampsia and was
Oh my god.
rehospitalized postpartum. So it was just like the never ending saga of like physically and like the the funny part of that is like it's the best I felt mentally like rolling with all of it. Like I
Wow.
couldn't imagine if I was going through all of that physical side in
For
either of
sure.
my last pregnancies
Yeah.
because I mentally just wouldn't have been able to handle all of it. And so I like my mind was like I'm ready to enjoy this. Like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have a sprinkle for myself. I want to do the things that I couldn't have in my first
Yeah.
two. And I want to take maternity photos. Like, I want to do all
Mhm.
of these things that I just physically could not. And so it was like, pregnancy is so hard. And it's hard too, because then I'm sure you have this with some of your friends, but like the friends of mine that are going through rounds and rounds of IVF and can't get pregnant. It's like you don't want to talk about how physically hard it is because you're so sensitive to I know women that would do anything to be as sick as I am because of the reason that I'm sick right now. And so I feel like it's such a hard it sometimes feel like you're in it alone
Yeah.
because
Because you don't want to talk
of
about it
just
too
the
much.
sensitive nature. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many people and friends of mine that have struggled, and it's wild how common it is and how it's not discussed. Like, just, it is hard for most women to get pregnant. And, that was obviously not something I don't think you or I struggled with, but like, um, but like,
Opposite.
right, exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, it's like I feel bad even like saying putting that out there, like, oh, I feel like shit right now. Because it's like, I am so blessed that I'm able to do this. And so many people have battles that they go through.
I think it's so interesting. I don't know about how like I went to an all-girl Catholic school, and so had that sex ed,
Yeah,
where it was like,
same.
if you think about having sex, then you will get pregnant. And so, and I've talked with this about girlfriends who are really struggling, and it's like, well, I could have been having a lot more fun all these years if I knew how hard it was going to be for me to get pregnant. Because, like, I
Right.
mean, you have to find a sense of humor in all of it. But I
Yeah.
think, like, I mean, Zach and I talk about it all the time. Of, like, when we get to the phase of how we have to talk about it with our children, of like, it is actually so many things have to go exactly right to get pregnant
Mhm.
that you don't even realize
Yeah,
that. Like, I wasn't given the proper education about it, like, and I think it's a disservice.
absolutely. I mean, that's same. I went to an all girls Catholic school. Like, we both went to very similar schools. And, like, yeah, we were taught, like, you have sex one time, you're getting pregnant. Like, it was, and that, I mean, yeah, I didn't ever touch a man till I was in college. Like, literally, and like not even like I waited. I mean, we were scared. We were scared. Like, the
Yeah.
school taught us to be scared. So
Yes.
I do think that, like you said, it's a disservice. Like, it's something that we need to. That's one thing at my school. We're an Episcopal school, so it's private, so it's like, but it's not as strict as a Catholic school. And but we even like don't have proper sex ed. And like, we talked about me doing it a little bit. I was like, wait, I don't have the, like, no, that's not my field. Like, I can talk about the mental health part of it and like why it's so important to be able to say no and all those things, but like, no, like, we need to like have real, like, medical professionals and not scare this, make it so scary. And yeah.
I want to put an exclamation point on what you just said because I think that is something that is so refreshing for me to hear, and I think is lost a lot these days, especially in the social media space of like having an opinion on something doesn't make you qualified to have a to educate others on it. And so I think like what you just said there, like being asked at your school, and I understand why it might seem like a natural fit given your background. Um, but just acknowledging like I'm actually not a sex educator. I
Right.
know the emotional and mental side of
Yes.
it, but
Yes.
someone who can actually speak to the physical side, like I feel like that is such an important, like I just want to like credit you for saying that, because I think it's really refreshing to hear.
Well, I just, it's not talked about enough. And like, yeah, I mean, I'm by no means educated enough to do that. Yeah. Um, I mean, there's also like the mental health part of it is a huge part of it, but I'm not going to go into the other part because that's just not my field. So even like nowadays, I don't think we have the best sex ed going on in schools. So
We can always improve. Well,
yeah,
that will, I'll find a sex educator to come on and talk
yes,
to us about what we can do.
yes, that's actually a great idea. Make it
You know, m-
an
maybe I will.
episode.
Maybe I will.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do,
If anyone's listening and knows anyone,
yeah.
send them my way. We'll have a chat.
I don't know.
Okay, I know we've been chatting for almost an hour and we both have childcare duties after this. So I want to be
No,
respectful of your time. Thank you so much for coming on. Before I let you go, something that is,
I,
girl,
but
stay.
it's
Girl,
true.
let's go.
It's true. We do both have like actual duties to attend to.
I want you to give our listeners something that I have been paying attention to the comments and the videos that you've been saying in your um, Connect Teen Parenting is what can we do now as parents of non-teens to help lay the groundwork? How can we help prepare ourselves as parents and our kids for becoming teenagers? Like, how can we? I think the most important thing is the first word that you have is connect. I think every parent desires to have a deep and strong and meaningful connection with your kid. Like when something comes up, you want them to come to you first. How can we, what is a tool that we can do to keep that line of communication open that we're starting early so that when we get to the teen years, it's there, that like we're not starting and trying to build that connection when we need it?
Connection is the foundation, 100%. And the way I always have felt you connect is by showing unconditional love. No matter what your child does, you tell them, I love you. I will never not love you. You can't do anything that will make me not love you. Even if you don't say that every day, showing them that. They just, if our kids can feel like I can go to my parents for anything, and I know they're going to love me no matter what. Like that's number one. Like the connection is the foundation, and if you can build on that, like the teenage years are going to be easier because you've built that foundation. And that's why like I am so glad Connect Teen is like it did work out that way because connection is key. Like it's so important. And I think a big part of that is validating feelings. Like so many, I actually just recorded a video today and I didn't, or yesterday, and I didn't even send it to my social media people yet. It was something I like thought of, and I was like, the tough love approach that not necessarily you or I, but like the old school tough love approach isn't effective because you're not teaching these kids how to prepare themselves for the future. You're not teaching them that you're basically scaring them into feeling like, oh, I need to
Mm.
behave. And it's like, is that really what we want for our kids? No, we want them to feel like confident, strong, kind humans. And like, if we can't validate the things that they're feeling, and sorry, I feel like I'm going like all over the place, but it's really all about connection and showing the love. If you could tell your child like in a random moment, like I love you, like that's everything to them, especially when they're little. Like Molly late snuggles with me at night in bed and I'm just like, I love you, I love you. Like, and it sounds so cheesy, but when I tell her that, she like grabs my hand and so like give me these kisses and I'm like, oh, like if I can build that foundation now as she's 3, almost 4, like, I know that teenage years aren't going to be the same, but she at least has that foundation of, oh my God, my mom and my dad love me no matter what. You know, like, that's key.
I think what you said, like it's seems so simple and it is. It's unconditional love. Like let your
Yes.
child know that they are loved
Yes.
there's going to be hard moments. There always are.
Absolutely.
Uh like getting toast thrown
Mm,
at your face.
right. I mean, this
But
morning, like, my child, she wanted a donut, and I'm like, we're not like super strict about food or anything, but like, no, I'm sorry, you can't have a donut. Like, we don't even have donuts right now. I want a chocolate donut. It was like sobbing, and I'm like, I started kind of laughing, and then I was like, well, I don't want to laugh at her because she's really not crying because of the chocolate donut. She's crying because she's overwhelmed right now. And I don't know necessarily what that is, but a lot of the things that they cry about aren't really what they're crying about. And that's another thing we have to realize as parents. Like, kids' brains are, they're running on emotions constantly. They're not able to sit back and think like, okay, I'm feeling this way because of this. They can't do that. They don't have that ability like we do. And so we have to, I think, also reminding ourselves as parents, like, my child is crying about a chocolate donut, and that's ridiculous because, God, she doesn't need a donut right now. But that's not really what she's crying about. Like, she doesn't know how to emotionally regulate herself. Um, and so, do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and I think it's something that's so important. You had a post, I think early on, that has been such a good reminder to me, and especially when, like, I think the whole educational portion of what you do around the child's brain and it's not fully developed, and so they can't, like, even though you can have a conversation with them, and I get caught up in this too, of like they say something so you think they know what they mean, but it's like, no, they don't understand the full complexity of what they're saying and what they're doing. Um, but what was it that it was just like explaining how their full brain isn't formed and so they can't emotionally regulate themselves. Like it's disarming for me because when their mood and emotions get heightened, I immediately get heightened and so I'm matching that and then we're
Yeah,
just kind of like upping each other.
right.
But hearing you say, like, when I read it, I was like, oh, I am an adult with a fully formed prefrontal cortex who can
Right.
regulate my emotions. Like, this child cannot. Like, I need to, like, walk in the other room, take a deep breath, drink a sip of water, and come back and be like, okay, let me try this again.
Yes,
Because like I can't expect them to do
to do
that.
that.
And I keep and
Hmm.
like we talk about they learn about it. So like they have a very I love our school because they have a very robust social emotional learning
Hmm.
curriculum. And they're like, we do deep breathing and we do yoga poses. And I'm like, let's take deep breaths. As I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I don't want to take deep breaths. And I was
Right,
like, well,
right.
take a deep breath. And so like I'm like, no, yeah, you
But
can't.
you're also human, and your emotions heightening when they are. I mean, that's so normal, but it is like the repair after, like, even if you do overreact and you do repair is always huge too. It's okay to
Mhm.
admit to your child, I'm sorry, I should not have yelled at you just now. I had a weak moment. Like, that's another thing. Sorry, I cut you off kind of, but like, that's another thing I think as parents, we don't realize, like, if we don't tell our kids sorry when we make mistakes, how are they ever going to learn how to apologize to someone? Like, everything we do is modeling for them. We're modeling for them. So if we yell at them, if we use physical force, like, that's, they're going to learn to do that. And then they're going to do that to their kids. And like, no, that's not what this is about. Like, no.
I think the repair part is important because I've noticed this in my kids too. Of like we're trying, and I actually also saw something from Dr. Becky maybe on apologizing because we are like trying to like you can't force apologies because they have to be then they are not sincere. But I actually realized I was like I'm actually a really bad example of this because I feel justified when I'm like I'm not yelling, but like raising my voice or I'm like I get frustrated because I'm human. Um, and then like they get that I mean it now, but then I'm like, wait a second, that isn't how I wanted them to know that I meant it. And so I
Right.
was over the summer when I when I wasn't working and I had space to reflect. And so I've said to my husband, I'm like, no, like the repair part is so important. And so like I have made a conscious effort to try and be like, I'm really sorry. I
Yeah.
do need you to put on your shoes. I did not mean to get that frustrated. The reason I got frustrated and like explain to them, like I was frustrated because I thought we all understood we need to leave the house.
Yes.
And I don't do this all the time. Like I'm not trying to be preachy, but like I'm just trying to say like what you're saying, sharing is so important of I'm trying to hold myself to the standard of if I'm going to hold my kid to this standard, I also need to meet that,
Right.
you know?
Right. Right.
And the whole like lead by example type
Mhm.
situation. But
Absolutely.
your videos are such helpful reminders for me to actually do that. Like it doesn't need to
Well,
be a teenager.
I was about to say, I'm so glad. And a lot of the things that I'm saying, it applies to little ones too. Like truly. Because teenagers are still kids, you know? Truly, a lot of the things I talk about are applied to toddlers, you know? So like, even though it is for teens, technically, it's for little ones too. It can apply to all ages. Yeah, I really think it all kind of goes it all goes together, no matter what age. They're all still kids.
Such a wealth of information. Tell our listeners, Charlotte, where can they find Connecting Parenting? Where can they find your course? Give us all of the information so that I know people are going to be wanting to consume all of the information you have to share. So please.
So my Instagram and my TikTok, so weird, is Connect Teen Parenting. So it's Connect, ConnectEen. So the T goes into teen parenting. So, that's the handle. Um, and Oh, my course. So if you go to my social media page in my bio, you can find the link to my course, but .com, and the course is called Thriving Together. And there's also like a freebie. So if you are like, I kind of want to do this course, but I don't know if it's for me, the first module I have available free, and it's all about the education of the brain. And so that you can even just do free. And then the course, it's 10 modules of videos, but I also have like worksheets and things that you can actually like print and take with you and like put up on your fridge to remind you of things too. So yeah,
I love a worksheet so much.
me
I cannot tell
too.
you. I love a worksheet. I
I do
love a
too.
piece of paper. I know it's
Yes.
bad. I'm supposed to
No,
not
I
like
love
it
it.
and print things anymore, but and it helps my kids too. We have the feelings chart on our fridge,
Yes.
and it's oh, I
My
can't get
physical calendar,
I'll never outgrow a a worksheet.
my physical calendar is everything to me. Like I can't do it on my phone. Like it's just not. Sorry, trees. I do care about you, but like
It's just
yeah.
how my brain works
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you for joining us from the parking
Of
lot of Cracker
course.
Barrel. This has
Thank you for
been
having me.
truly such a treat. It's been a joy connecting. I really appreciate you um trusted me in this conversation. You opened up, you shared a lot for our listeners, and I know that there's going to be so many relatable takeaways for people. So I
Good.
really appreciate you making the time. I know you are
Thank
a
you.
very busy mom and pregnant, and so I
I feel
appreciate this conversation.
more than honored to be here. And this was my first ever podcast. And what a great person to do it with. Like, this was amazing.
Aw, I'm
So,
flattered. This was fun.
thank you.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
catch up with you soon.
Okay. All right. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you for joining for my very first guest episode with Charlotte. I so appreciate the way that Charlotte opened up in coming on and trusted me and having this conversation. I have been following along her page since the summer. She really gives some incredible feedback and advice and wisdom around parenting. I also hope that something in today's episode helped you feel seen and understood. If something in today's episode resonated with you, I would so appreciate you downloading, subscribing, following along wherever you're listening from. That's how I can continue to have these conversations and share these conversations with you. Until next time, be kind, be brave, and be safe out there.